The other night I had a lucid dream where I was walking in a garden with a family that wasn't mine, but it was if it I could understand that it was my family in some sense. And so I don't know what prompted me to become lucid, but I was, and I was looking at the garden and down at my hands, and though I was lucid, it felt very hazy and sort of not not of a sort of luminous clarity that other lucid dreams I have had were. And so I sort of commanded clarity and stability. I said those two words, and then things just sort of like that cleared up, and almost like the ripples in a pond settling, and the water became absolutely still, and my experience was perfectly clear and crisp. And then I was looking down at my hands and the flowers again, and I was like, wow, this does not feel any different from waking life. In fact, it feels more real, because I know I in some way am generating it more directly. That realization came more naturally than the sort of lucidity that I can achieve through waking life. It's so, for me, lucid dreams can become actually a place of hyper lucidity, more so than waking life. And I understand people um, experiences differ. That's what it's like for me. And yeah, so after that, we were walking in the garden. I forget exactly what we were talking about, but then came a time where I was transported, maybe through a portal, to a field of people that I, again, feel like I knew in some way, but I didn't recognize them then, and I don't recognize them now thinking back to it. But it was like, in the experience, I understood that I know these people. And so they were filming a short film, and there was a team of student filmmakers, and I went up to them and said, what are you guys doing? What are you filming? We're filming a short film. And I just sort of watched, and as they did it for a while, and soon enough I turned to my left and I saw my friend, someone I actually do recognize in my waking life, and then myself. I was there looking back at myself, and of course it not me like me, but like higher part of myself, the higher self, God, and those are kind of interchangeable and actually the exact same thing for me. And it was just this presence of myself looking back at myself. And at this point I was like, okay, so I'm here, right? I'm in this lucid dream, and now I see myself. What can I do to what can I do? So I thought to myself, well, it'd be cool to go to the Shire, like in Lord of the Rings. Just, I don't know, that's what I thought of. And so I was sort of like, okay, I think I'll go there. And then, right when I thought that, another thought sort of creeped up in the back of my awareness that said, no, you shouldn't do that. Like, you're in a lucid dream. Like, this is not like for fun. This is important. Like, you should pay attention to what this is trying to teach you and tell you and all that sort of stuff. And I was like, okay, well, I guess I shouldn't just like mess around. Shouldn't just, because when people speak of lucid dreams, some people, when they talk about them, they're just sort of talking about them in the sense of they're exploring various desires they have, and how to have those kinds of experiences, which is fine. But in a sense, I guess I wasn't immediately um, wanting to do that after I had that thought. I was like, wait, like I don't know if that's helpful for my path. And so I had that thought, and then right when I had that thought, I looked to myself, and he was laughing, and in a very loving way, but it was just sort of like, and then he said, um, you're always working, and sort of laughed, and I was like, oh, like it doesn't, exploring these realms and these various experiences of consciousness doesn't need to be work all the time. I mean, it's definitely is that, and can feel like that depending on your karma and if you've been through a lot of difficult things in your life, then it can feel a lot more challenging to work through and unravel these patterns of conditioning within the mind, and to continuously return to that space of stillness and presence, which is ultimately what all the spiritual paths are about. It's about being here now. It's about presence, and not being swept up by the thoughts of the mind, which can either tug you towards the past or the future, which are irrespective of the present moment, and actually don't exist in a more fundamental way. So I'd kind of have this tendency to always be thinking about spiritual path as great work that you're doing, and you're unraveling the ignorance of the false self, and deconstructing the mind, and all these sorts of things. And it's like, I think you can get in a space of like straining when you're thinking about it in that way, and at least for me. So that's why I like to return to this idea of Leela, of divine play. And this is a movie, this is a game, it's God playing dress up, and it so this I love this experience, and it was just telling me like, no, this is for fun too. It's like, go to the Shire if you want to do that, and same even with people talking about exploring various desires within lucid dreaming or astral traveling. If that's what you want to do, like, do that, and then eventually you'll maybe realize the futility of those desires, or you'll keep doing it, and that's great too. Whatever is what you want to do, as long as you're not hurting other people, of course. But like, just exploring your own consciousness is I think it's free game to do what you're curious about. And so for me, I wanted to go to the Shire, and I kind of stopped myself from doing that. I'll be there soon, but so anyways, yeah, that was mainly the experience. I kind of woke up after that, and I was like, oh, cool. Like, it's not all this draining thing where you have to force the great work to unravel itself, because it's happening on its own, and really you just surrender to that. But that doesn't mean to dismiss the fluctuations of consciousness that are arising within your experience, and the sort of radical non-dual people, which I understand in somewhat, and have, like, I'm not judging them, but I think, without naming names as well, there's a tendency among them to sort of dismiss any and all of these fluctuations within consciousness, that lucid dreaming and past life memories and things like this, which are I understand can draw people away from presence and what this is all about. And it's just about embodying presence and that can certainly happen, I understand, but I think to dismiss these things completely and to only seek the formless nirguna Brahman, it's I think disingenuous to what non-duality actually is, which is the embrace of everything, and understanding that everything is a part of this great cosmic play, and of course have a balance. Like, don't totally get lost in these realms and these experiences, because they can cause attachment and sort of egoic traps if you get caught in, oh, I was a priest in this life, I was a warrior, it's not, because even those things aren't more fundamental to what you are. It's deeper than that. But I also acknowledge that these experiences happen for a reason. Like, I don't think the capital I intelligence guiding these experiences is mistaken in providing them for you, like prophetic dreams and these visions that arise during spiritual practice. They don't happen for no reason, and they can be greatly beneficial to understanding and deepening the awareness of yourself and the presence that this is all about. So yeah, that was the experience. Pretty cool, pretty short. It was actually pretty hazy memory looking back on it, and this is a thing for me. Like, astral experiences in general, they're very hazy after the experience, but extremely, extremely vivid during them. And not really sure why. Working on it, but yeah, that was the experience. Yeah, wish you all the best, and that's it.